Yesterday, Super Bowl Sunday, I received my first strike from YouTube, and it hurt. So here's what happened. Yesterday morning, I made a YouTube video about the electric bike that Bill Murray was riding in the Groundhog Day commercial during the Super Bowl. I saw the commercial early in the morning. I saw a couple posts on it and found out that the bike itself wasn't out yet, it wasn't available, so I tried to gather up all of the information I could on that bike and make a quick video about it, because I figured during the Super Bowl people were going to Google e-bike that Bill Murray's riding, or Bill Murray riding bike and Jeep commercial, something like this, and I thought maybe it'd be a great video and have some interest in it. Turns out it did, but the way I made the video was I took the commercial from YouTube, which was already on YouTube, and I put that in as a background so you could still kind of hear it, although I had the volume in it go down when I was talking. And then on top of the video I had pictures of the e-bike that Jeep is putting out, and then talking about the certain features on the bike and kind of showing the pictures that would sort of correspond to that. And it seemed to go very well. I didn't think that it was utilizing somebody else's content and trying to pass it off as my own. I thought that was obvious, and actually maybe my downfall was I put disclaimers over the whole thing. The first 5 or 10 seconds of the video says all video and images are property of Jeep. I did the same thing in the description below. I had Jeep all over the tags, in the description, in the title itself. So I thought that I was being very obvious in not portraying their video as my content. I put the video up on a lot of the e-bike sites or groups that I'm on Facebook, this and that, and it took off. Matter of fact, the response was really good because it was kind of something, it was funny, it was a little interesting, and people wanted to know about that bike. I think within about 4 hours I had about 650 views, which for me that's quite a bit, and on my YouTube analytics it showed a pretty good raise over where my normal YouTube video performance is in terms of performance over the course of time. And I was even emailing a buddy of mine saying, wow, this video is doing really good. There's one thing I noticed though, and that was that my view count on the YouTube analytics page was pretty high. Like I said, it got up to 650 or so. But on the YouTube app on my phone, and also on the TubeBuddy app on my phone, it had my view count down to about 130. And I thought, something's up here. My first thought was that the apps just hadn't caught up with the performance. Maybe the performance was that good and kind of moving up. You know, usually it takes a couple hours before analytics starts showing you historical references and comparisons with other videos. So I thought that maybe that was the issue. I even emailed a buddy of mine at Adventure Outdoors, Steve Sharon, and said, hey, has this happened to you before? Is this typical? And he said, don't worry, I think the YouTube count is right, and it'll all catch up, it'll fix itself. And then lo and behold, while the Super Bowl was actually going on, and this is probably 6 hours after I posted the video, 5 to 6 hours after I posted the video, I noticed, I looked online to check to see what the view count was, and it said that I had been flagged and the video was removed by YouTube. And I'd never had anything like that happen to me before, and they said it was because of copyright infringement, and that somebody or some organization had filed a complaint about that, and so they took that down. And so over about the next hour I learned all about this copyright infringement thing, and it was kind of interesting, something you probably should know. So on my YouTube analytics page, and I'll put that up here, it says that I've got 1 strike out of 3, and that shows up on the top of your home page. Then I also received a email that sort of explained the same thing and said why it was being done, and it gives you a couple options. One, you can contest it. You could click the button and say, hey, I don't think this is right. But it tells you right up front that if you if you fight that, your liability for that copyright infringement, it could result in severe legal consequences, a lot of expenses and whatnot. And to be honest, this YouTube thing, I do it for fun. It's a hobby. But so I don't want to draw a line in the sand, and I don't want to put my flag in the ground and die on that hill. So obviously, that's not the option I'm going to take. The second option is you can contact the owner or the person that contested it. And so, to be honest, I wasn't going to get into it with Jeep. I get it. The video is playing behind some photos. So I guess I could kind of see that argument. What I don't understand is the fact that I had plastered all over everything and the description itself that this wasn't my property, it was the property of somebody else. So what happens when you get a first strike? Well, you've got to go to copyright school, which is kind of crazy, but YouTube has a thing where you click into it and it gives you the link when you get a first strike like that for copyright infringement, and then you watch a video, and it's about a 4.5 minute video, and it's an animated video, and it's kind of busy, a little crazy, and to be honest, I thought maybe I was going to have to rewind it and watch it again, but they're talking about copyright infringement and how to make sure you don't do it on your YouTube videos, this and that, and it's about 4.5 minutes, and 4.5 minutes I look over to the right, and there's 5 multiple choice questions. I don't know whether you have to get them all right. I don't know if they score you, but I took it, and it was basically quizzing you on the content of the little copyright school video that you watched to see if maybe you understood. They want to make sure you're getting it, obviously. And so I got all 5 of them right away, and then it registers that you did it, the person that somebody complained about. You went to copyright school, and that starts the count for 90 days. So the day you do the copyright school is day 1, and then 90 days later, this will be expunged from my record or taken off my record, and I'll go back down to 0 strikes. If I get more strikes, up to 3 within that 90-day period, it said I would be banned from YouTube for life. I did the quiz, I watched the video, and started the countdown for the 90 days to get this off my YouTube record. And again, I get it. I want to comply. I don't want to be the resistance or anything like this, right? It's just not worth it for me. But I do think it's kind of silly. I watch a lot of videos, and I'll hear a lot of original music from artists, or I'll see clips in it of movies or a TV show or something like this, and you can go watch those anytime you want. So I don't really understand how mine qualified for it. Maybe the other ones just weren't turned in or complained about. I'm also wondering if, since I put the property of Jeep and all that stuff all over the place, maybe that's what got me flagged, because it said that it was a manual review is what caused my my flagging in their system. So I'll comply. I'll do my penance, do my time, and get out, and I'll just carry on. So now you know what happens when you get a strike at YouTube. I didn't know before. Hopefully you'll learn from my mistake. It was an honest mistake. I didn't intend to steal any material or hurt anybody. But I'll go about my business. I'll get that strike off my record, and I'll keep on making videos on YouTube. And if you found this video informative, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.